Oh, this is a beast. This is the GOOLOO A3. This is a tire inflator and a jump starter all built into one. You can see right here it's got 3,000 amps and then 150 PSI. And then it has a bunch of back safety built-ins. I've actually used GOOLOO a ton before, so I'm going to walk you through the process. Super easy. I just want to mention that it's got overcharge protection, overcurrent protection, short circuit protection, reverse play, temperature high and low, and then also overload protection. So it comes in this nice little carrying box right here. I've actually already used it before. Brand new out of the box. Again, 300 amps right here. You've got a little rubber handle. You've got a vent or an outflow air take and an intake on the bottom, so you can do that. And then on the top, you've got a bunch of different buttons. So here's where you're actually going to connect the battery jumper cables. And it's really nice because on the jumper cables, it tells you if you've done it correctly. You've got a USB-C, so this can be used as a USB-C charging, USB port, so you can charge that. You also have a flashlight on here, and then you also have your air adapter here with a bunch of different nozzles. So you've got a nozzle adapter, a tire inflator. If you have any inflatables, like maybe it's a boogie board or paddle board or something that you're towing behind a boat, something like that. So let's jump into it right here. So here's the controls. We're gonna hit the power button in the middle. You can see all of the different things right here. So we can rotate between car mode, truck mode, bike mode, basketball, and then it has an auto shut off, which is really, really nice because it'll go up to 150 PSI. For this demonstration, we only need like 35, 31, 30, something like that. And you can see right here, this is that. Then we can change that, our PSI. So if we go to, let's say we want to do a car, we can go 35, 36, or we can go all the way down to 34, 32, 31, depending on what time of season is. If you're in the winter, you obviously colder anyway. I don't need to get all that with you. Then we have a light on the top. So you can see it's really nice. 400 lumens, we have a blinking one, we have an SOS, and we have a complete shutoff. And then, so that's the actual charger slash battery pack itself. Then it comes with a bike nozzle that you can just put in. Then you have your jumper cables themselves. And this is the part that I was talking to you about right here. I'm gonna get really close. So when you have them connected, it gives you the green light, which is correct. If it is done wrong and you have the negative to the positive and backwards, it will do reverse. And then you actually click this boost button. The beautiful thing about the GOOLOOs is you can do these with one person. So this is an older truck that I have. We don't know if it's the alternator or the battery. I think it's the battery, but hopefully it is the battery, just so I can do that instead of the whole alternator. So then you just pull off this little case on the top, and then it's nice because the way that this is shaped, you can see right here we have a square and a round, and this just fits right in. So right in here, we just want to make sure that we put these in. This should give us a correct right here. It won't go in any other way. So then we get them plugged in on the vehicle. I'll show you. So as we get right down in, right there you can see that it's green, so we've got it correct. And I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. And again, right here, we want to make sure it's on. And then on the actual connectors, we're going to hit boost, and you should hear a little bit of a click. So we've got full power there. I want to keep it away from the terminals themselves. And then I'm going to hit this one more time because it just turned off. So we got the boost, then we're going to give it a go to start it. Okay, and that just rolled over. The battery is dead, and so normally what I would do if I wasn't doing a demonstration for you is I would actually just let this sit and run for a minute. And then with the air compressor, you're actually just going to screw the nozzle right in here and take the cap off. And so I'm going to pause this and go down to the tire so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so if you don't know, depending on where you live, the weather, all of those, the types of tires, the size of your vehicle, you can check on the inside door. Driver's side door, it'll have a sticker. It'll tell you what your tire should be inflated at. And then obviously we're at a truck, so we're gonna switch the vehicle. One of the things that I've really liked about this model, the A3, is that the cord is about 2 feet long. Some of the other inflators that I've tested out or reviewed is, let me just come down in here, is not that long. And when I say not that long, I mean sometimes 6 inches. So you can actually get a little bit of room in here all the way out. So about 2 feet in length, which is nice. So we're gonna switch to our vehicle. We're at 36, and I'm actually just, I'm gonna go to 35. I might have to let some air out. But then once we're all ready to go, right here, we're gonna hit the power button. And you'll see it'll start pumping air. So we're at 27. And maybe I will just go to a 30. We'll hit that button. It's loud. So you can see it'll start going up. When it gets to 30, I don't want to have you listen to that sound for the next 2 minutes, but when it gets to 30, it will automatically shut off, which is nice. So if you're doing basketballs or inflatables or paddle boards or anything like that, this will shut off for you when you get to that amount. Now, some of those items might not necessarily have a prescribed PSI that you want it to go to. So if it's an inflatable or a basketball, you can actually just look that up online and say, okay, my paddleboard should have X, Y, and Z on the PSI or different things like that. So again, it's all portable and it comes with this SOS light on the top. I really love all of the different adapters. Again, there's one for bikes, there's one for basketballs, there is one for inflatables that kind of like pointed. You could use it for balloons, you could use it for all sorts of things. Again, this is the GOOLOO Combo A3 3000 amp and 150 PSI tire inflator and jumper cables. This is an absolute keeper.